So we're going to start with the basic collar and sleeve grip. This is a fundamental motion. It sets up a lot of our arm bars, sets up our triangles, sets up our sweeps. So the way that I'm going to get my grip is I always go hunting here so that my partner has to get posture. As he gets posture, he pushes up there, it's easier to get my grip. When sometimes I try and get my grip and I'm not controlling the posture, he's got the, yeah, exactly right. So one of the things that you see is I always go hunting with two hands. I always put my left hand on top if I'm going to grab from my right hand. I don't want the other way because this is a long distance, it's quite awkward. So I'm holding this way. As I pull forward, he gets his posture, I simply grip and I'm turning it so my thumb's on the outside. So I'm going thumb, 4 fingers, and my thumb from here. I'm making sure that's a strong grip. To make this even better is I'm going to bait him a little bit to push my leg down. Right. So what I'm doing is I turn, and I turn so that my knee has a structure where, yeah, exactly right, where I can start to get the posture and push it down. Whether he uses his hand or whether he uses his elbows are relevant at the moment. The second thing is I'm going to do a little bit of a pull. So here. So one more time. Yes. So we go fishing. So I'm always trying to get my left hand on top if I'm doing it to my right hand side. And I pull. As it gets posture, I find this is quite easy to get hold of because he's you know, like pushing away. I turn my knee in and I push from this position. As he's doing this, I'm going to do 2 motions. I'm going to pull and put my foot in, but I'm going to get my knee as close to the ground as I can. That eliminates him being able to swim under my leg and choose his guard pass. Right now, because my knee's down, he can only pass the guard 1 of 2 ways, he doesn't have a multitude of ways. Is everyone okay with that? Okay, line 3, come here please. Inside my full bladder. You're looking great in your blue gi today, buddy. Why are you laughing? So I get my control, right hand goes on top and I break him down. As it gets the structure and the posture, I switch my, left hand on top, my right hand underneath. I'm going to give him a bit of a bait, so I turn my left knee in and I open up my right knee a little bit. So I'm not giving him space to put it under, I'm just giving him a frame to push off. As you see, I do 2 motions, is I'll pull my hand to my knee and I'll replace it with my knee facing down. So he might go back to that, that's okay, but he can't put his hand under my knee. If he tries to lift my leg up, because the weight's on the ground, he goes under, he can't do the double unhook guard pass, and it minimises his passing to my left-hand side. So I know that most of his guard passing is going to be to my right-hand side. I want this grip, don't let it go. So put on the hip, knee on the ground, my left knee's facing in to keep him postured, and I've got a good tension on this. Please make sure that your right elbow's tucked in, don't have it flaring out, otherwise he'll fight to your bicep and you get bicep control. So I need to have it in, so if he tries to get bicep control, I've got it hidden on the inside. 1, 2, 3. So from here, we're starting off with exactly the same thing. So I get my tension, pull the gi, she gets a posture, change my grip. So making sure I'm thumb to 4 fingers on the inside. First of all, I squeeze, I'm just turning my guard sideways, so my left knee's still squeezed in, I'm not leaving it open, just to give it the option to put a right up on the inside in this shape. So I'm trying to keep the knee squeezed. So I'm like I'm working my guard, but it's off on an angle, it's not straight. Second thing from here is I'm going to do 2 motions, I'm going to pull and kick, put this here. This is the hardest part about the entire move, and this has to be done fairly quickly. So this is the part that I want to rush, I want to change the cadence or the timing to make sure that my rhythm's faster than hers. I want to go slow motion. So from here, this is, I'm going to slowly put pressure on my right foot, I'm going to slide backwards and lift my left knee to the ceiling. I'll put pressure on my right foot. So what will generally happen is she feels that I'm going to set up my scissor slip. So she'll try to keep the tension with her right knee out. My knee comes to the ceiling, it chops down, kick, and I'm in the deepest triangle she's going to get. The thing about it is, if you come around to the front side, I have a lapel choke on her as well. So the lapel's already crossed across her throat. I'm keeping her knee squeezed with this leg. So the leg that I put on the ground before now comes up. Cinch it and squeeze it, and the choke's pretty much done. It's a really fast, high percentage choke. I'll put it on the wrong side. She can't stack me up and she can't run the guard. So the way that she wants to go to defend it, it's physically, she's going to run into the cross collar choke if she goes the other way. Yep. So I go tension from here, switch it over, get my grips. This is the hardest part once again, guys, is this. Because now everyone kind of opens up their legs and they give them that pass. So I want to keep my knees squeezed. So this is the part, if you're having trouble, this is generally the part of the equation that we're going to miss. So I pull. Now this is my distance management, because I can't bring my knee over at the moment because it's too tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go distance management from here. And I'm looking like I'm doing the basic sweep. So they're generally going to go, I don't, yeah, exactly. So I bring my knee forward. What I'm doing is I hack my knee as low as I can under the arm. Bottom double break the grip. Pull. Once I'm here, this knee does the work. So that knee does the work. I normally have my hand inside the collarbone, just demonstrate. So once I'm here, is my fist is in the throat as well, so I'm trying to get in the throat. The most common reaction that I get from this, she's going to use that hand to try and pull. That sets up everything for me. And it's a super tight throat. And what I'm saying to you guys is that I have the option to scissor sweep as well. I'm not stuck. I have an option for an armbar, which I won't do today, but the armbar option is really legit as well. Ian, thanks enough. Like that? Okay, so Ian is inside my full guard. We're going to start the system off exactly the same thing that we've done before. Okay, so we're inside the full guard from here. I get my tension, left hand on top, please. So I pull. Right hand, flick it. So I've got like a pulling motion. So that way, if Ian pulls his hand backwards, where I find if I'm on this grip, it's a weak motion, so I'm going to go here. The hardest part about this is I'll pull, get space, foot goes in, cut the angle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a scissor sweep up. So my knees on the ground, I kick away, and I'm looking like I'm scissor sweeping. So I'm in a scissor sweep position. So he'll generally react to my scissor sweep by hunkering down. I bring my knee to the ceiling and to my elbow. So it's not just here, I bring my knee to the ceiling and to my elbow. I hack it in front of his leg, I kick it through, it comes through. This is the part I need you guys to concentrate on, is this. So this leg goes to the ceiling. And that's pretty much the choke's on. Okay, from here, turn, cinch, and squeeze. But if my partner is stronger than me, and if they try and drive into me, my foot is on the hip. So I've got this ability to keep him away so he can't stack me. What I'll do from here, just so you guys know, I bring my legs down, and I just go through from here. He's only got one hand. So the hand that he needs to defend it is quite underneath my legs. So this is a straight cross collar. If he goes to defend the cross collar, yeah, well, it's really hard to defend the cross collar from there. So I'm not, if I can't get chopped, I'll drop it down and kind of crush that bicep in, and I'll just go straight to my cross collar choke instead. Cool, 1, 2, 3. The difference on this to the normal triangle is the knee angle, and it has a couple of really important parts which denies my partner from retracting the arm off the triangle. And a lot of time that when we hit the triangle, we kind of get that where it's elbow on the groin, it's that kind of on half in, half out on the top, especially when we do the push-pull triangle. So the knee down on the K-guard variation of this eliminates that. So I want you guys to really focus on, it's not K-guard, but the knee down to hold the arm in. We're not just pulling and shooting to the triangle, right? We're setting it up so it's a little bit different. So you guys come around, expect you guys on that side to get a bit more insight into it. So I've done that, I'm going to shortcut the system just a little bit. And can you just check that I'm in the video, please?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so I've set this up from here, and I've done the pull, boom, I'm here, and I've got my distance management. This is the part that I see people doing. This is the part that I need you guys to focus on. If I shoot this from here, he's going to retract his right hand, and I'm not going to get the triangle. Does that kind of make sense? Because he can go double underhook, guard pass, etc. So what I'm doing instead is, once I'm here, my knee comes to my elbow. What I'm doing is I'm kicking this from here. So I'm pulling. So see how this hand here is locked in? So when I kick it up, watch what I'm doing is my right foot stays on the hip. It's very, very important. Here, what I'm doing is I raise, so I'm going to kick off the hip, raise, and pull the elbow in. So what I'm seeing from here is people try and take that foot that way to finish it. So he's put all the pressure on this leg and he can run the guard to, yeah, exactly right. So what I'm doing once I'm here is I raise my hips. Pull. Now even if I get this stuck and I can't quite get the triangle, I'm happy to come back in and push the arms caught, I have my cross collar choke. So the part that I want you guys to concentrate on, the difference to this is this here and that. Now when I pull, it's here, it's this knee, cinches up the triangle. It's not me trying to get that. So traditionally it's this foot comes over, we'll hold the foot, we pull it in, get the triangle, and then we have this battle with this arm. So to eliminate that is what I'm doing is I'm going knee, K-guard, knee down, exaggerated, kick it through, pull, here. My right knee, okay, so my right foot stays on hip, raise, drop. Okay, once I'm here, I tip it, cinch it, and squeeze it. So I really want that here and that drive off the hip. This will also give you guys, like, so if I'm here, so if I go, can you put your right hand back? Yeah, so if I go K-guard, so kick away, K-guard from here, and I'm like, man, he's back out too far, I tap my knee across. So he's going to start to crush me down to pass, you know, I'm just like, cool. I just get my easy sweep because I'm underneath him, so the more he drops his weight on me, the more I'm going to get my sweep. Okay, let's try that again, guys, with the 3.
Adam, with your wrist on the